back to Getting to Know Denver podcast. We're going to talk today about what you can afford in Denver right now from $100,000 all the way up to $1 million. And what does that get you in different parts of the Denver metro area? And so we're going to kick it off. And it's important to know, I think if you're coming from, away from outside of Denver or outside of the state of Colorado, just what you can afford, as far as homes go here. And so we're going to highlight some of our listings today that are at different price points so that you can understand what those are going for and what someone would pay in a payment for most of these properties that are great properties in town. So
at the $100,000 price point, I guess you could say, there is a tube slide at Kettering Park in Littleton that is for sale. That's about what you'll get here in Denver for $100,000.
Well, actually, we also have a listing right now for $138,000.
We do.
$499.
Where is it at?
It's in Thornton. So it's a 1-bed, 1-bath, 606 square feet. But yeah, it's $138,499. So it is possible.
So for those that don't know Denver that well, Thornton is north of Denver. It's on the north side, technically Weld County, I believe, correct? Weld County is more of technically like a rural county, like USDA loans are up there and stuff. But Thornton and like that area around it, really up and coming, really nice. If you can get a spot there, it should appreciate pretty well. So like $138,000 to get into that North Denver side. It's probably, what would you say, 20 minutes outside of like downtown Denver?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2025.
Right?
Yeah.
2025?
Yeah.
So, good location, yeah, if you like to be close to Denver, but just not, we're on the south side here, but yeah.
So I'd say for like that high, or like high 100,000 range, low $200,000 range, you can typically get like a 1-bed, 1-bath with even some updates. It doesn't even have to be super updated. And even our listing is like fairly updated, and there's other ones that you can look at that have some updates as well.
Yeah.
And you're talking and it's not really a bad part of town or anything like that. You know, it's just going to be fairly smaller. So
yeah,
that's
at that price point too. You're probably talking about like $1,000, $1,100 a month payment plus an HOA that's about $300 and some change.
Yep.
So like $1,400 for your total payment, compared to renting a place for $400 that's a 1-bedroom.
What's the square footage on it?
606. Yeah.
So price per square foot would be what?
Oof.
Just kidding. We don't have to talk about this.
Yeah, that's math.
Got you riled up.
Go back to our last episode and listen to the end for Landon's opinion on price per square foot. He has a strong opinion.
That's great though. I mean, it's a 1-1, so 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, but
and then
you said 138, right?
Yep, 138, and then bumping up like a little bit. So 2-bed, 2-bath. Then you're kind of at like the high 300,000, low 400,000 range. So we have 18374 South Holland Way, Unit 105 in Littleton. That is very updated in a great neighborhood. Littleton is a great place. Probably same thing, like 20 minutes away from downtown. Also,
is that east of Santa Fe or west of Santa Fe?
Oh, it's way west.
West.
We're Kipling and Mineral, basically. Kipling and King Carroll.
Yep.
So it's Deer Creek condos right by like Chatfield High School and Meadows Golf Course, really close to all that. The Ridge Rec Center is down there, really close to C470. So great location, and you can get anywhere around town. HOA is really reasonable too. It's $335 per month, but it's got a garage too, which is nice. A single car detached garage. So $339.9, that's what that gets you. Really good price. And yeah, having 2 beds, 2 baths and not having to update at all, moving into a place like that is not terrible. So,
and in Littleton's such a good location. You're so central to everything.
Yeah. Compared
Compared to like Thornton, right? Thornton, you're a little bit up there.
Yep.
You're 25 minutes from Denver and probably like another 45 minutes from Fort Collins.
Yeah.
So.
And with that location, you're looking at like $2,600 a month plus the $333, for the HOA. So about $2,950 is what I would kind of count on, But you could keep it under $3,000 for a 2-bed, 2-bath condo in a great neighborhood.
And on that side of town, like if you like skiing and snowboarding, like you're right off. Like you're just 15 minutes away from getting into the mountains there.
Yeah.
So,
and some listeners from Iowa are listening right now going, for under $3,000, I can get a 2-bed, 2-bath condo where it's like they're getting a mansion for that price. And it's just every market's so different, right? So that's why we're doing this. So you can understand people from California are going, what? That's what I sold my studio apartment for, right? Like 10 years ago. So it's just different in every market, but that's how we stand right now.
Yeah, and to watch what happens when you put in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo in downtown Denver.
Yeah.
Go look at those prices and see. You'll be quite surprised.
I just sold one today, hopefully. for $702,500 was our price.
There it is. Yep.
Yeah, so,
$702,000,
just north of the Highlands in Berkeley.
And
like newer construction, 2-bed, 2.5-bath townhome. And it had a party wall agreement. So that one is $113 monthly. And that, so like your total for a payment, if you're putting 20% down, you're probably borrowing like $580. So you'd be right around that, like $4,200 a month range, somewhere in there. Plus the HOA. So like $4,300 is about where you'd be looking at. So we kind of skipped a couple levels there. So sorry about that.
But just to kind of show like
2-bed,
2-bath even in Thornton, which we don't have an exact example of, but like, when you buy in Thornton, when you buy in Littleton, when you buy downtown, there's a huge pay range.
Location,
there.
Location. It all matters.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the argument has been like it's cheaper to rent, but now the rent has gotten so ridiculous here and in Denver that some of those monthly payments you were saying are less than what I'm seeing and what a lot of people are seeing out there for rent. So if you can swing the down payment and get the loan and everything like that, I think it's 100% worth it, even if you only want to live there a few years and then rent it out or...
Yeah, definitely.
And don't think you can buy a 1-bed, 1-bath, like you said, have a payment of $1,200 and maybe you only have that for a year, 2 years. Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
And,
it's kind of your
sell
experience,
it later
wasn't it?
on and and then move up to the 2-bed, 2-bath or whatever it is that you want to do. You can work your way up. And rent, you could work your way up as well, but at least when you buy, you have like that equity. So that kind of helps you move forward when you're looking for that next purchase and you want a little bit more room.
Totally. Yeah. And it's tricky in our market because right now, like rent is cheaper than buying. And so you can rent a house for less, but you're paying 100% interest to the landlord. You're not making any money or equity on that money. And so for people that are in a short-term situation, it may make sense. But I think paying a little bit more to own, like for example, that 2-bed, 2-bath condo, right? Very rentable condo. So like on the market, that place could probably rent for like right around $2,100 a month, something like that. And I gave the example before of like 0 down payment, right? Of $2,900. But if you're putting a down payment down of like 20% down, for example, that place is probably running you closer to, $1,900 a month plus the HOA. So you're like $2,300 total. So you're close, right? But you're going to pay a little bit more, a couple $100 more to own than you would to rent. And so that's something to be aware of in our market. If you're looking at like another market where it's so much better to buy than rent, that used to be our market, but it's not anymore. And so you just have to have that like mindset of like long-term, think of
you'll make that money back.
benefits.
No problem.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Yep.
Just think about it as a savings account.
Yeah, seriously. It's very true. Like a high yield savings account.
Forced savings account.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a great way to put it.
$500,000.
Yeah.
What does that look like for us in Denver on our listings?
It's like very much in the entry level range for single family and also the high end range for townhomes and condos.
Yeah.
So it's like right there in that threshold. But we've got a listing on 9139 Anasazi Indian Way in Highlands Ranch that is a great home. It's got a total kitchen remodel. It has, newer floors. It's got, really good bones as far as like having 3 bedrooms up. They've got, space in a basement as well. So it's a great unit and it's in a good part of town in Westridge Highlands Ranch, which is an awesome community with amenities and rec centers and pools and, all kinds of parks and trails and everything. And that's $593,900 is our price on that one. And really nice home in a cul-de-sac in Highlands Ranch in like a premier community. So there's, if we stretch it just past 500, that's where you can get to just a little bit of a really quality area that meet people's needs a little bit more in some cases, depending on where you're at. If schools are important to you, if amenities are important to you, it just depends on what your lifestyle needs to be.
Yep. I just sold one. Well, we closed on Friday, but it's out in Elizabeth. Elizabeth's a little bit more of a rural area, but it's starting to become kind of close to a Denver metro area, just how fast it's growing. But it's a 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom ranch style home, 2-car garage. And it was I think it's about 2,400 square feet. About 550. Nice. for that house.
And that's a newer build.
Newer build. Yeah, built in 2020.
Yeah.
So just get more space as you go east. Even Parker and Castle Rock right now, for that same price of $593,900, you could probably sneak into a 3-car garage. And you could probably sneak into over 2,000 square feet.
You might need some updates on it, but
this is a 2-car at 1,600 square feet above grade. That's just kind of the relativity of Columbine, or that Littleton Columbine area and Highlands Ranch are going to be a little higher in price than Parker, Castle Rock, some of these a little more outskirt suburbs that are great places to live, where you get more money for your house, or house for your money. Sorry, but it's just a little longer drive from downtown Denver. So. Awesome.
Is that all we have in that 500 price range right now?
Yeah, right now.
I think so. Yep.
So that would put us. So our next price range would be like 750. So 750 is kind of that's a sweet spot, wouldn't you say? Kind of in the Denver market, pretty close to where our medium price range is.
Heating up quickly.
Yep.
That 700 to $1 million right now is a hot price range. I looked at 53 pending comps in Highlands Ranch, and the days on market average was 19 days.
Wow.
So that's a really killer time frame right for this time of year. And so they're moving fast, and people are just starting to finally have needs catch up with them in life, where they need to move up and get more space. And so I think that's why that price range is really taken off a little bit. And it's also you kind of have to follow where the money is too. The lower price ranges are struggling the most because the lower income job positions are struggling right now a little bit. And you have more white collar stuff that's producing at a little higher level that's creating growth in that mid range right now. And so that's shifted, where it used to be the entry level was what was growing always, right? And now that segment of buyers are struggling affordability wise to make payments. And you've got, that second tier is really taking off, and they're able to afford it because they're bringing equity from their previous purchase and dumping it into those homes. And so that's been a factor that's just changed in the last year for us of how things are moving and shifting in our market. But this home on Belmont that we have, 11772 West Belmont Place in Littleton, great neighborhood in Trappers Pond, which is right off Bellevue and Sims in Littleton. So it's a little further north than that other one we talked about on Holland. But this one has a really good location. It's a 3-car garage in Littleton with over 2,200 square feet above grade, plus a finished basement. So you've got an additional 2 bedrooms in the basement, 3 up. So it's a 5-bedroom home, and it's really nice. They had new carpet, new paint, new exterior paint, just painted the deck. And they've got some updates to bathrooms and kitchen here and there. So not completely updated, but sneaking into a 3-car garage in Littleton for $750 is tough to do. That's a price point where you're just barely getting there. So that's why that one's had a lot of traction and activity so far. Good listing.
3-car garages are a difference maker too. That's a game changer.
Yep.
I don't know what I would do without it. All right. 750 to 1 million.
Okay.
So this is a pretty hot price point as well right now, just where affordability he's gone to in Denver, but still one of those spots where it's some people don't really want to pay $1 million. But when you have it, you can buy a great house. These are the homes that you'll usually find in Lone Tree, Greenwood Village, DTC area, Highlands Ranch, really high-end pockets of Castle Rock and Parker, or central Denver neighborhoods. The $1 million to $2 million mark in Denver, you can find a lot of really cool places. Obviously, you're not going to get as much square footage or lot space in Denver as you would in South Denver or the Douglas County area, but ultimately in that $1 million price range, you're going to get a pretty good house with quite a bit of space. Definitely easy enough to get a 3-car garage, good backyard. In some cases, you can get a house that'll back to, open space or, backing to water or whatever. You'll have the updated house. You'll have, the nice appliances, nice countertops, nice flooring, all that good stuff. And so if this is the price point, like we just talked about, you have your starter home, you move up to that 750. This is where like, okay, these are the people that have been in their career for a while, or they finally met their milestone in their career and like, time to move up. Or, maybe they're coming from California to where, they were in a really small house for $1 million already. And they're like, we can laterally move to Colorado and buy twice the square footage.
Yeah, that's very realistic. That's exactly what's happening.
Happens all the time.
Yep. Or from Oregon or from
Chicago,
Washington,
like
Seattle.
all these places. They're doubling their square footage for the same exact price that they were paying for in California, plus better property taxes and things like that. So get a lot of transplants in that price range for sure.
Yeah. And this one's a cool one because they redid the kitchen. It looks beautiful. Quartz counters and islands.
Talk about the address. Which one?
Yeah. Oh, we're talking about 9231 Mill Creek Court. Sorry, in Highlands Ranch, and this is right in the heart of Highlands Ranch, right in the middle, which is like right by Veniford Ranch. Really cool part of town in Eastridge, and so again, you've got access to all of those amenities. And at 924.9. This one has over 3,000 square feet. So you step up in size quite a bit, about 1,500 in the basement. That's all finished. So about 4,500 square feet finished, plus a nice backyard. And it's in a nice area too with quiet, no roads close, really great home, that's updated and has a lot to offer as far as kitchen and bathroom. Floors have been refinished, painted, just an awesome place. So that's what you'd get in Highlands Ranch, right? If we were to go to Castle Rock, Parker, Aurora, some of these other places, you would get more of a custom build. You'd get a home that's probably 25 years newer too, like a lot more newer construction over there. That you'd just have less to do as far as like windows when they come up, furnace, HVAC, like all of that stuff, plumbing issues. So you avoid some of the challenges if you're willing to drive a little bit further and get newer homes. But right now, Highlands Ranch and Littleton, like everything's 25 years old, or 30 years old. So a lot of that stuff is starting to fail. And so it's just important to like be pretty vigilant on the inspections. Make sure.
So are you planning to move to Parker then?
No plans. Yeah. We're pretty stationary right now. We're super happy with Highlands Ranch. It's like our favorite place ever.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Tell us about Aspen Creek.
With gas prices at $8 a gallon? No way. In California. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
$8 a gallon in California.
That's insane.
We're
at $4.50, $4.30,
Yeah. I mean, I've seen $4.90 lately. Like it's getting up there. For sure.
Costco. Got to go to Costco.
There you go. If you gotta have time waiting that long line.
That's true. Yeah, if you got a few minutes in the day.
Another example of this is 9229 Aspen Creek Way, which is our listing in the golf club in Highlands Ranch. And this one also, like, it's a subsection, so a little step up in community. It's a golf community with a great Denver University bought the course a few years ago, so it's a really nice area. There's a lot of homes backing to the course that you can buy for 1.1 to 2 million, over 2 million. But there's also a lot of homes that are just interior lots, but you see the course as you drive in and out. Beautiful clubhouse, really nice place. And this one's listed for $948,500. And really nice place. They've done some great updates to the kitchen. Finished the basement, have a little sauna down there, like really cool setup for entertainment too. And this one's in a cul-de-sac as well. And it's got views of the mountains out to the back. So cool spot there. So there's a couple options. If you were to go north to Denver and buy something right in Denver with $900,000, you'd probably be getting like, a couple things. You could be getting like a 1900s home that's like a Tudor
early
Victorian,
1900s.
Yeah, like really cool architecture, but you're also dealing with some issues that will come up, and you just
like
plan
galvanized
on those
plumbing, just stuff like that. That's
sewer lines that are cast iron and clay.
You're literally just about to fall apart.
Single pane windows that are wood windows.
Matter
that are
of
still
time.
around. Yeah. So stuff like that you just know you're going to spend some money on those homes, but you're probably, instead of having 3,000 square feet with 1,500 in the basement, 4,500, you're looking at like, maybe 1,800 square feet there in Denver with a tiny little cellar basement that's like 300 square feet, right? So, and for some people, that's like the lifestyle that they want because they don't care as much about the size of their house. It's about having a really cute looking, cool architecture type home that was built, 150 years ago.
The Denver bungalow.
They have access to everything.
Yeah.
It's all about the walkability. It's all about the European dream, basically, right? To have all this stuff walking right out your door. And so there's definitely some appeal there for a lot of people to have that type of lifestyle.
So, I mean, those are going to be your like main price points in Denver. If you want to go above $1 million, you can. Like, you got places like Backcountry and Highlands Ranch, Spirit Ridge up in Parker. You've got some major places out in Castle Rock. I mean, if you want to get up to, the 2, 3, 4, you can go to Cherry Creek, Cherry Hills area. Mm-hmm. Even in Denver, like, you can find it. But those are the main ones that move the quickest in our market. So,
Gabby, what do you think? What would you do? Would you have a bigger home or a home that's like closer to everything?
Size or location.
I like Denver. You guys know this, so
Yeah.
I think I'd rather have like a super cool, like crazy Denver house that maybe wasn't as big, but I would still want a yard and that type of thing.
It's awesome.
So.
And how, like, a lot of your friends that are recent, like college grads and stuff in the last few years, like where are they going? Where do they find like?
Honestly, everyone's still renting right now, but I would say either like where I live, like Platt Park, Wash Park area. A lot of people are downtown because they want to be by just like the nightlife and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's not my thing, but if it's yours, I'm so happy for you.
So what does the renting life look like? Like, give us price points for renting a home in Platt Park or Wash Park. Like, how can do a lot of people share rooms? They just like rent a room and then share space?
I would say it's definitely more expensive to just have like a 1-bedroom apartment. You could find a house or like somewhere with roommates. You could probably do a little over $1,000 per person.
Okay.
But it really depends. Like, you could get an older house and it could be like $1,000 per person for like 2 people or whatever. Or you could rent like a newer house in Wash Park and it's like $5,000 a month. So
Between 3 or 4 of you, it's like $1,500 each or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So $800 to $1,500 for a room, basically.
Yeah, but they are smaller, so like it really depends. Like, it might be like $5,000, but only like 3 people can live there, or 2 people can live there, or something.
Right.
So,
but pretty appealing because you could pay a smaller amount and then be close to everything you want to have nearby.
Yeah, or Greenwood Village is popular.
Yeah.
They're kind of leading in like the lower prices right now and building a lot of new buildings. So I have a lot of friends that are actually moving like from downtown or whatever to Greenwood Village, and I've been like kind of convinced to maybe go over here as well. So
Nice.
That's close to work.
yeah.
What are the biggest draws there? Like, what do people want to be close to and why?
Like I said, for my age, I feel like it's a lot of like nightlife when they first get out of college, and then after it's been like a year and they've like had their chance to like go out or like walk around and kind of live that lifestyle, I guess they kind of get tired of it and then they move a little bit more south.
To the suburbs or like not
Like
even
kind
suburbs,
of like I would like more south in the sense of like where I am, like maybe like Wash Park, Platt Park, or like go here to Greenwood Village as opposed to like Low-High, Lodo, Rhino.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So still staying within like 15, 20 minutes of the city, but just moving out a little bit. Okay. And then they have kids.
Yeah.
And then they're like,
then they're in
Highlands Ranch, where are you? Littleton, Castle Rock, Parker. Yeah. Welcome to the park.
Welcome. Welcome to families.
Yeah. No, I think that is like a evolution of like just lifestyle changes that a lot of people go through.
Yeah, and I think it also like it's fun to do when you're right out of college, living downtown and that kind of thing, but like not being able to really just like go park at the grocery store and like things like that. You get tired of it after a little while. So
Yeah.
I can't imagine carrying groceries from the grocery store back to your apartment.
That'd be awful.
Yeah. Nice.
Did you have an apartment in college where you do that, like to the third floor all the time? I remember
No, I made it like a priority to like get a room on the ground floor.
main floor. Yeah. We had
Smart.
There you go.
we had a couple of those upper ones that were like, oh, this is the
Yeah.
worst.
I know. And you have
Suck it
like
up.
every bag in your hand and you're just
Yeah.
like walking. You're
a
like,
good
I'm going to
workout.
take one trip.
Just
Farmer's carries.
creasing your fingers with those
Yeah.
big milk bags.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
What about you, Kristen? Would you rather be close to everything or have a bigger place?
Well, now I have a baby, so I want to be in like the suburbs. I would rather have a bigger home with like a big backyard, and be in the suburbs and have to drive a little bit, than to be downtown.
Yeah.
I think my life of that has expired now.
Yeah.
But there was a time, and I see the appeal for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think then just when you have kids and you need more space and I also think when you live downtown and you're young, you're not home all the time. You're usually like outside at the park or you're, whatever. And I think like as you get older and you have a family, then you're kind of home more often.
Yeah.
So then your home kind of needs to be a little bit bigger to like fit your lifestyle.
Yeah.
I also think
know?
like a smaller house in like Littleton or something is very different from like a smaller house in Denver, I guess.
Yeah.
Very
Because
much
like
so.
Littleton, you're just kind of like sitting there, like
Yeah.
live in like a cul-de-sac, like you can't really like leave
Not as
or
much to
like
do out,
stuff.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's different.
Yeah.
True.
And I think there are a lot of suburbs now that have like that walkability and, like a good price point
Yeah.
and a nice house. So it's like, I'm sure Parker has it as well. I don't know.
No, Parker doesn't have
But Highlands Ranch, like you have
There
town
you go.
center, you have restaurants, you have a grocery store, and you also are walking distance from
I'm
a
disappointed.
good house.
I'm disappointed in you.
I don't know. I don't think Parker has that. I don't know. Just maybe.
Have you seen all the trails that Parker has? They're all interconnected. No, it is.
Works for.
No, you're right.
Highlands
though,
Ranch also has trails. Just throw it up.
but no, like the places like Littleton and Highlands Ranch, like that's the beauty of them because they've got everything. Plus,
Yeah.
like the parks. Plus, like you can ride your bike or walk to just about anywhere in Littleton for the most part. Parker, yeah, when it was built, it's built so far out. They're still developing Parker technically. I mean, there's still a bunch of neighborhoods being built, and it's still kind of still somewhat considered away. I think, yeah, it really just depends on what you want, right?
Yeah.
What you're comfortable with and how far you're willing to drive for certain stuff or walk in that regard too. So,
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, it's a good point.
but schools come into play and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's just,
yeah. Well, and same thing with the nightlife that you were talking about. Like, I think if you want to be closer to that, or if, like that you aren't really doing that, then you don't have to be like walking distance from, like 10 bars or whatever. But
Yeah.
Well, like
I
if-
don't think some of my friends thought about like living by the bars. You also have to like wake up in the morning by the bars.
yeah, like
I don't know.
True.
yeah, true.
like your life just changes. Like we've talked about, like when you're in the city, you're like, okay, it's nice because I can go walk to the restaurant that I want to walk to. And then you get older and that walk that you would have made is now a walk to the park with your kids
Yeah.
or a walk to the library or something.
Totally.
It's just different.
Yep.
Your season of life is completely different. So it's going to change on where you live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some people that just like hold on to the city dream, right? Like they have kids and they're like, nope, we're sticking around. Like we're living in Denver, and there's a good
Yeah.
amount of people. Like I see them
Yeah.
that are in like Corey Merrill or in like Virginia Village or like just very close to the city. And that's for them, that's moving away, right? Is like kind of like you said, Gabby, is like, yeah, we moved south to Platt Park so that we can just enjoy our life with our family now and like, but still be close to everything. Like that's what's priority for them. And they think
Yeah.
everyone else that like has kids and moves out to the suburbs is a sellout.
Yeah.
It's like that mentality of like,
Dude,
you're just selling out.
But there's nothing better. Like I can't hear anything at night. Like we open our windows in our house and all we hear is like coyotes and like that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing. You can't hear anything. And it's
Yeah.
so
Can't hear that
nice.
dude barfing at the bar.
Or just like constant traffic. Some people love that though. Like they love the hustle and bustle of the city, and they can fall asleep to like the train behind their house or whatever. Like that's just how it is.
And I've had friends, like parents, that they had a house in Wash Park. They buy the 2 houses, tear them down, build like a new build, beautiful house. And then they kind of have the best of everything. Like they have a large house, they have older kids, and they also have like that downtown Wash Park lifestyle. So you can't have it all if if that's what you want also.
It's true. Yeah. And there's different like strategies based on the price point, right? So if you're like at that $500,000 price point, you're really prioritizing like growth and equity, because that's usually where the market is growing. It's soft right now because of affordability. So there's some good opportunities to buy in that price range and then see growth down the road. And then the 750K strategy, like that's more, buying long-term family homes that a lot of people love to grow into and have space to grow in decent areas, and that's another strategy. And then the $1 million strategy is, prioritizing a premier location sometimes, or it's like having more custom finishes or quality upgrades that you can enjoy. A lot of times people that buy $1 million and up type homes, they really care about where they live and like what, like whether it's location or the quality of construction and like the updates, like that really matters to them. Or other people, it's like, it's just a roof over my head. Like my strategy is I'm going to buy in the lower end price point, pay it off as fast as I can, and live my life and travel and experience like all kinds of things,
So it's where you sleep.
Yeah. Yep. So I think you have to come up with a strategy. Like if you're considering buying a house, like what type of buyer do you want to be? And that strategy may shift every 5 years of your life or less as things happen, as you have a baby, as you graduate from college, and now you're wanting to like meet more people, right, and be more social, stuff like that. Or as you have multiple kids and you want your kids to be with more kids around and have parks and different things that they love doing, and get them off screens, get them outside, like be close to trails, all that stuff like really matters. So just depending on where you're at, there might be a lifestyle for you here in Denver, and we are happy to help you find it. So would love to help you with that. If you're in the need to navigate this market at all, feel free to give us a call, and hopefully this has helped you get to know Denver in a way that you didn't know it before. And our information's below if you want to reach out and ask us any more questions or go deeper on anything. We're happy to do that for you. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you on the next one.